It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle. They did not have the advanced technology that we have today. So it's really a marvel.
You cannot fit a dollar bill or a razor blade between them. The technique of fitting these blocks together baffles archaeologists and engineers today.
We often believe that civilization is purely an invention of the old world, a perspective deeply rooted in our cultural pride. Welcome to the enigmatic Surya, the ancient sky fortress, perched high above the jungles of Sri Lanka. Imagine a colossal rock rising 660 feet into the air, crowned with a palace that seems to touch the clouds. What challenges the mind, though, is understanding why and how ancient people created such an awe-inspiring structure, complete with a vast water reservoir high above the ground. In today's video, we'll climb the steps of Surya, reveal its hidden secrets, and explore the incredible engineering accomplishments of the past. Stay tuned as we demonstrate how this fortress was not just a marvel of beauty, but also a masterpiece of ancient technology. Did you know that the stunning Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, is deeply connected to Sri Lankan royalty? This tale begins in the 5th century AD, vividly recorded in the ancient chronicle, Mahavamsa. It tells the story of King Kashyapa, who ruled from 477 to 495 CE. In a dramatic twist, Kashyapa seized the throne from his half-brother, Moggallana, setting the stage for a narrative filled with intrigue and architectural brilliance. To safeguard himself from potential retaliation, Kashyapa moved the capital from Anuradhapura to the formidable Sigiriya Rock. Upon this 200-meter-high granite monolith, he ordered the construction of a fortress and a luxurious palace, showcasing his wealth and architectural vision. However, after Kashyapa's dynasty fell, Sigiriya faded into obscurity, swallowed by dense forests and forgotten by history. It wasn't until 1831 that the site was rediscovered. That year, Major Jonathan Forbes of the 78th Highlanders, part of the British Army, came across Sigiriya during a horseback expedition through the central forests of what was then Ceylon, now Sri Lanka. Stumbling upon this magnificent rock fortress and its ruins, Forbes's discovery rekindled global interest. His detailed accounts and sketches brought Sigiriya back into the spotlight, captivating colonial officials and scholars alike, paving the way for future archaeological explorations. After Major Jonathan Forbes's rediscovery of Sigiriya, the archaeological focus shifted to this fascinating structure, leading to its eventual excavation. Early efforts to study Sigiriya were somewhat disorganized, lacking the systematic approach typical of early antiquarian activities in the region. However, a significant shift occurred in 1895 when H.C.P. Bell, the first commissioner of archaeology for Ceylon and a British archaeologist, took charge. Bell's structured investigations laid the groundwork for understanding Sigiriya's complex layout and rich historical context, shedding light on various aspects of its construction and artistic achievements. As the 20th century progressed, the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka took over, bringing a new level of rigor to the exploration of Sigiriya. These systematic archaeological excavations truly began to take shape by mid-century, further accelerated when Sigiriya was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. This period marked a time of intense activity, including detailed mapping of the site, careful excavation of the gardens, and meticulous restoration of the ancient frescoes. Speaking of frescoes, the vibrant paintings on Sigiriya's western face are truly a sight to behold, depicting celestial maidens known as Apsaras. These artworks highlight the exceptional skill of ancient Sri Lankan artists. Created using natural mineral pigments, these frescoes have withstood the test of time, their colors still vivid after more than 1,000 years. Their creation technique, reminiscent of the fresco secco method seen in India's Ajanta caves, highlights a shared artistic tradition across the region. However, Sigiriya's frescoes have a unique stylistic flair that captures the maidens in ethereal motion, as if floating in the air. The site's water gardens are yet another marvel unearthed through diligent excavation. These gardens reveal an intricate hydraulic system featuring pools, pavilions, and dynamically engineered fountains. This level of sophistication in water management suggests comparisons with the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, illustrating that such engineering marvels were not limited to the Western world. Sigiriya's gardens were not only visually stunning, but also a testament to advanced hydraulic technology and urban planning by ancient engineers. Then there's the mirror wall, originally so well polished that it reflected King Kasyapa's image as he passed by. Over the centuries, this wall became a canvas for the thoughts and musings of visitors, covered in inscriptions dating back to the 6th century. These writings, ranging from poetry to personal reflections, offer a unique glimpse into the minds of ancient travelers. Similar to modern-day guest books, this tradition of leaving one's mark is a universal human impulse, seen across cultures and epochs, as evidenced in places as far-reaching as the pyramids of Giza, where ancient graffiti also tells stories of those who came before us. Delving deeper into the architectural wonders of Sigiriya, let's explore why this location was chosen for such a grand fortress. The natural setting of Sigiriya itself offers some clues. Rising about 200 meters above the plains, the sheer height of this massive rock column provided unparalleled defensive advantages. This elevation was not just daunting for potential invaders to scale, but it also gave inhabitants a wide vantage point, allowing them to see for miles and spot any approaching threats long before they reached the fortress. The rock's steep and rugged sides further protected the fortress, making direct assaults nearly impossible without advanced siege techniques. Just above the water gardens, the boulder gardens of Sigiriya paint a vivid picture of how natural landscapes were skillfully integrated into the fortress's design. This area is dotted with large, naturally occurring boulders that have been cleverly incorporated into the overall layout. Winding pathways snake around these colossal stones, leading to hidden nooks and strategic lookout points. These boulders weren't just visually pleasing. They played a crucial role in the fortress's defense, acting as natural barriers and fortified posts. This strategic use of natural rock formations is somewhat similar to the serene rock gardens of Ryoanji in Kyoto, Japan. Although both gardens feature natural stones, Sigiriya's boulder gardens were primarily designed for defense and control, while Ryoanji's layout aims for contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. Climbing higher, the terrace gardens mark the final stages of the ascent to Sigiriya's summit. Here, a series of staircases and pathways are carved directly into the rock face, not only facilitating access to the top, but also allowing for the cultivation of gardens and the construction of small structures along the way. This method of using terraces can be compared to the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu, which also features gardens cut into mountainous terrain. As we've ascended through the layered terraces and lush gardens of Sigiriya, it's impossible not to marvel at its defensive capabilities, which are as impressive as its architecture. The entire fortress was safeguarded by a massive moat and towering walls. The approach to the rock itself was ingeniously designed to be narrow, funneling potential attackers into a tight space where they could be more easily repelled. Throughout the fortress, large boulders were strategically placed, ready to be rolled down on invaders, and certain staircases were cleverly designed to be easily removable or destroyed, preventing enemy progression. Drawing an interesting parallel, the construction feats of Sigiriya can be likened to those of Machu Picchu in Peru. Both iconic structures were built in challenging locations, yet they demonstrate an extraordinary ability to blend architectural elements with the natural landscape. Machu Picchu, nestled between mountain peaks and featuring agricultural terraces and planned residential areas, echoes Sigiriya's integration of form and function within its environment. The scale of material moved and the meticulousness of Sigiriya's construction highlight its stature as a marvel of ancient urban planning and engineering.